Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. Today, let us understand a very important combination. I cannot explain this combination in a very short span of time, so I will be doing at least 2 or 3 parts. And this is the first part where I will be explaining the combination of Sun and Saturn. Saturn is said to be the son of the sun god in the mythology. Raviputram, Yamagrajam, elder brother of Yama. Yama is said to be the lord of hell, or anyway, I don't want to use that word hell because we don't, in the Vedic astrological, I am only talking with regard to the astrological perspective here, not going into the Puranic mythological perspective at all. But still, taking this particular Shloka, Neelanjana Samabhasam, Raviputram Yamagrajam, Chayamarthanda Sambhutam, Tam Namami Shanaishcharam. So, Neelanjana Samabhasam. The eyes look like, seem like, abhasa. Abhasa means it seems like, it looks like. You feel like, abhas karna. So you feel like. Samabhasam means it's equally, it seems like, it we feel like. So I am just repeating those words so many times, sorry. So, Neelanjana Samabhasam. The eyes look like the blue light, shimmering blue light, glittering blue light. Raviputram, son of the sun god. Raviputram. I'll tell you the meanings of all these things with regard to the astrological perspective. You will have a different insight. Yamagrajam. Yama. Here, Yama means the one who controls. Yama, the one who will put you back in the karmic world. Agraja means he is the elder brother. Yamagraja means Saturn is the elder brother of Yama. Chayamarthanda. Chaya is the shadow, the goddess of shadow. And Marthanda is another name of sun. I will come in detail for every word. Sambhutam. Chayamarthanda Sambhutam. The one who originated from the confluence of the shadow and the sun. Tam Namami. To you I bow. Tam Namami, Shanaishcharam, the slow, the mover. Shanai means slow, Charam means Chara means moving slow. The one who moves slow, the one who travels slow. To you I bow with all, Namami, I bow with my head down and pray to you. So, or I show you my respects. Let us now go into the depth of this with regard to the astrological perspective, the confluence of sun and sun god and the planet Saturn. If we have to understand this, we need to understand this part. Neelanjana, it looks like blue, the face, the body. You can see most of the Shani temples, the Saturn temples, the whole thing is covered with the blue. The blue, everywhere you can see blue. Why is that color represented? Why is that particular color represented? You will understand that it is, here it says that he is the son of the sun god. He is the Yama's elder brother. So, I'll come to that blue thing when I talk about the Chayamarthanda. He is the Raviputra. He is the progeny of sun. That means astrologically, a part of sun, we are all parts of sun actually. We means in the sense that all the planets, including me and you, everybody, we are stardust. We are nothing but a, a spin of all this matter which got collected and became, planets around the sun, and that becomes your Sudarshana chakra or the solar system. Saturn is a very big chunk of sun. It has all the properties of the sun with regard to the astrological properties. So what is the astrological property? Sun is very strict. Saturn is very disciplined. Sun has ego. Saturn has what we call as stubbornness. He is very stubborn. Sun has routine. Saturn has perseverance, commitment, very strict. Both are like army officers. They are both are sattvic in their thinking when it comes to justice. They both are very, very thinly divided. The ideology between Sun and Saturn is extremely thin. The division is very thin. You can see Sun as a conscious person who comes out with tejas. He wants to be in the outside world and public world, wants to interact with people. Saturn would want to always be within, doesn't want to unnecessarily showcase, doesn't want to unnecessarily, make it a big, show. He wants to keep it within himself. So that is a different aspect, but still both of them work for the society. So Yamagrajam, here once again, he is the elder brother of Yama, mythologically. But what is that? Yama here means the controller. And Saturn is rectifier. He rectifies. You slip out of your karmic path, it is as good as, a vehicle with a tent goes to the repair shop, and the body shop guy who takes the hammer, and he puts a piece here and he'll keep tinkering it. You go through the pain to come back to shape. You are supposed to, as per the karmic prarabdha, that is your seed and your fate, you are supposed to have a particular limit. And you cross the limit, you will go through the process of tinkering. Soundless pain. Saturn does that. It will see that you will fall back to the groove of cosmic, karmic prarabdha, and you will not bounce out of it. If you are supposed to go through pain and realize a particular thing, you will not be able to enjoy it. You will be subjected to go through pain and realize it. And the other way around also happens. Saturn also gives extraordinary beneficial results to a person who is doing who is doing hard work, and he exalts him to a very high level in the society. As good as Sun, he becomes a very big personality. So, Yamagrajam, the rectifier, here he rectifies you. He punishes to set you right into the position where actually you are supposed to be in this particular janma, that is lifetime. Chaya, what is Chaya? The shadow. Can there be shadow without light? Obviously no. If it is pitch dark, you can't have a shadow. Can there be a shadow without an object? No. There has to be something in between the light and the screen. Only then you will have a shadow. Scientifically speaking, without light, shadow cannot be created at all. Impossible. And where there is only light, is there a shadow? Impossible. There is no shadow when there is only light. There has to be a opaque body which absorbs light in between the light source and the screen. Only then you will have shadow. Likewise, this is a confluence of Marthanda. The meaning of Marthanda means the sun which has just set. The sun which has just set, but you can still see the disk of sun. Even after sun has really set, you can see a virtual image of sun. You can see a virtual image of sun, the reddish sun just setting in the horizon. It is not the real sun. If scientifically people can understand what I am trying to tell, sun has already set. But the rays which are bending into our environment, the sphere of air, it bends the light and comes to us, but we see that as the sun is not yet set, but is actually set. So this particular sun there, the virtual image of the sun is not there, has not that much of strength, it has lost strength. And that is why sun loses strength in the west. So when the sun has set and it has become bluish red, bluish red, and that particular deep red is the confluence of the shadow which has started to creep into the land. The shadow which has started to creep into the land, that is the darkness, because of the earth itself, the horizon, because the earth has a curve, and the shadow will have, it's creeping inside. You can go to you can go to Google Earth, beautiful, you can see the simulation of the sunsets and the lights getting on in all the countries. You can see that the band of the shadow which keeps creeping. You can go through that simulation. Beautiful it is. So this is what is Chaya, and that is what is Marthanda. That is the other name of sun. Chaya Devi is the female entity, and in between these two is born Saturn. He is that opaqueness which causes the hurdle, which causes that like a boundary. He creates that limit, he creates that boundary, he creates that particular thin strand of difficulty, or thin strand of what we call as invisible hurdle, which happens in everybody's life. It is like nothing but a wall, on which we need to walk. He is the one who makes the rules. Chayamarthanda Sambhutam. So it evolves in between Chaya and Marthanda, the sun which has just already set. Okay? So, Shanaishcharam, Tam Namami, Shanaishcharam. Shanaishcharam means the slow moving planet. Shani plus Chara. Shanaishchara. So, Shani, very slow. It takes 2.5 years for Saturn to move in one Rashi of 30 degrees. So it takes a lot of time to move from each degree to degree. So that is what is the mythological reference which has been taken into the astrological perspective, and this is what it is. So, Sun, the planet which operates when a person is conscious, and Saturn is a planet which operates when a person is in sleep, is not conscious. He is, let us say, dreaming, swapna avastha. So, in between, the deep sleep And full consciousness is the layer, very thin layer, where you are now in between, you feel tired, you want to go to sleep, you don't want to be active, that is sun, you want to go into deep sleep, which is actually Ketu, which you want to go into the deepest sleep, that is as good as the comb. So this particular layer, it's very thin layer. You don't know the time when you actually fell asleep. You don't know that time. That is the time which is ruled by Saturn, and that is actually one part of our daily life and daily routine. We need to understand that this also represents the old age in our life cycle, because sun is birth, Ketu is moksha. It's like as though we are going asleep, deep coma. We don't know where we are. That is moksha. Saturn is the transition period between the huge consciousness which we lost as we became old and old and old, and we came to a place, in a age 70s, 80s, 90s, 100. Some people, even in 100, they will be going for jogging with full consciousness. But still, that is the moment when a person will come to realize that, yes, I have some difficulty. I feel like I should go into the Vanaprastha-ashrama, I should go into the Sannyasa-ashrama. This is the time of introspection, self-realization. This is the time when we feel tired, our bones ache, our parts of our body will not function as it was functioning with sun, moon and Mars. Namasturyaya, Chandraya, Mangalaya, Budaya cha. Infancy, birth, infancy, adolescence, youth. Namasturyaya, Chandraya, Mangalaya, Budaya cha. Sun, moon, Mars, Mercury. They are all full packed with power, strength, vigor, vitality, activity. Jupiter and Venus, we enjoyed life. We earned, we spent, we ate, we did all what we have to do with all our, panchendriyas, the five senses. We used it, we used it to the extent of, as good as the tearing the carpet which we used. We used it to the last piece. We are still using it. We still, some of the senses will be active when we are in old age, but still, we have overused it. Actually, we have abused it. So, after that, we come to old age, Saturn, Shani, which actually starts rattling our rib cage, the bones. Then it will tell that, yeah, this is time, this is time. So, at that time, we will go through a panic. What should I do? Before that, if you know that Saturn is the last point of the five major planets which actually give us this samsara and pain, if you understand, after Sun and Moon, you have five major planets which actually become retro: Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. These are the five major planets which actually represent samsara, that is our day-to-day life, samsara. And if we know it earlier itself, when we are just about to exit the moon, then itself on that infancy, and we know that we should not give a damn to all these five, then we would not have gone through this rattling panic. And we could have happily gone into Rahu and then Ketu, into the sannyasa and moksha. The problem is that we don't do that. We go through the whole river of, whatever river it's, we swim through that. So, this is Saturn. It will take out each page of our history, memory of our karmas, and tell, did you do this correctly? Go through the pain, suffer. One more page. Page number 2. What did you do in that particular age to that particular person? What did you do to this particular dog? Did you beat it? Did you kill that? Did you do this? It will keep, you don't have to go to hell to experience anything. You can experience here itself. Nobody comes out and tells that. It is what everybody will go through. That is what is Saturn. And when the confluence of Sun and Saturn happens astrologically, in the first house, the second house, the third house, the fourth house, or wherever it is a big subject. So I'll be doing that particular thing in the next part. Thank you very much for today's class.